The trustee.
Sir, you need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. All right, Missy.
False imprisonment.
I want you to stop talking or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight? The second
I also have a right to understand the nature of this. I have a right to understand the nature of laws.
If you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail.
I'm not being disruptive. I'm just trying to understand the nature and cause of the charge.
All right, officers, I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home?
Okay, folks, we have one of the most ignorant sovereign citizens to ever enter a courtroom today. This man is being treated like a joke after being charged with speeding and not having proper insurance. Furthermore, it's possible that he could face jail time. He's out here arguing with the judge like they're battling over the last piece of pizza, rather than taking it seriously. This is a courthouse, not a frat house, buddy. What do you people think? Is there something else going on here, or is this person just totally out of touch? How did the judge handle it, in your opinion? In my opinion, he has the patience of a saint. Let's get started, but be prepared for a lot of word salad from this guy.
Mr. Johnson, appearing in person and pro se. Your name tag on your uniform says Johnson, so I presume you are Mr. Johnson. Now, sir, if you could get right in front of that microphone. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Sir,
yes.
You're charged in count 1 with speeding 82 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. That is a traffic infraction. It is not a charge that carries any jail time. It has a scheduled fine. 82 and a 65 is $87, but then there's also 108 court costs. In count 2, you're accused of operating your motor vehicle without proof of insurance. Now, if you had insurance but just couldn't find it, you can get the proof to the county attorney and she'll probably dismiss that charge. If, in fact, it had lapsed or something was happening so that you didn't have insurance on the vehicle at the time being January 4th, 2024, that is a B misdemeanor. The maximum penalties as far as jail time would be 6 months, although probation is usually granted. There is a mandatory minimum fine the court must impose of $300, but it could be as high as $1,000. You do have the right to hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply and see if you qualify for court appointed. You can waive your right to counsel and represent yourself. Another option, you might be able to apply for diversion. That is where you apply, and if the county attorney approves you for diversion, you would pay agreed upon fines, costs, get your insurance current, and pay a diversion fee, and she'd dismiss the charges and keep them off your record. If you want to talk about diversion or anything else with your attorney, you certainly will have the opportunity to do that. Your pleas, you have a choice of pleas. You can plead not guilty, and we can set this for trial at a later date. You can plead guilty, admitting the charge, and we would proceed with sentencing. Or you could plead no contest, which is neither admitting nor denying the charges, but you'd still most likely be found guilty, and we'd proceed to sentencing. If you want to look into diversion, we'll enter a not guilty plea to give you time to do that. You can always change your plea, but once you're convicted, pre-trial diversion is off the table. So
probably not eligible for diversion based on his driving record.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to talk to an attorney then and discuss whether or not you have a defense? Or?
No, Your Honor. I would like to request a declaratory judgment due to there is no agreement for my performance under any agreement or commission of this court.
Well, I don't need an agreement from you, sir. So if I were
Well, Your Honor, I simply do not understand the nature and cause of the accusation with regard to the jurisdiction of the venue and nature of this action until the prosecutor properly alleges them there. I cannot enter a plea to the charge until I have the opportunity to raise a meaningful defense on my behalf.
Joe Webster's face speaks for itself. You can almost see her tolerance running thin. This sovereign person genuinely believes that he will be exonerated by merely flinging a bunch of words about jurisdiction and freedom. Warning, it won't. The legislation is rather simple. Driving without insurance or a proper license is against the law, and no legal jargon will make that any different. To be honest, I don't understand how people think they are above the law. Something more profound must be at play here. Where exactly do they find this stuff? Do they all go down a private YouTube rabbit hole? Because they are appearing in far too many places. Just wait, though, because this man is going to start acting aggressively towards the judge. Let's get started again.
All right, I will then, since you cannot enter a plea today, I will enter a not guilty plea for you and give you
I
time.
object, Your Honor. I object to you entering a plea to me because I must understand the nature and cause of these accusations. So I do not agree to you entering a plea on my behalf.
Well, your position is taken and I'm still going to do it. I will note your objection for the record, but I'm going to enter a not guilty plea.
Well, I object to you entering
Your
a plea
objection
on my
is
behalf.
noted. Your objection is noted, and if the time comes, you can appeal that to the Court of Appeals. Now, on the issue
Well,
of
who is,
attorney,
Your Honor, I would like to ask, who bring these charges against me? I should have the right to
all
question.
right, we're not going to have this debate right now. I've told you your charges. I've told you the state of Kansas has filed those through its attorney, Jill Gillette. Now,
Well, I would like to call the state to the, I would like to call the state to the stand, Your Honor.
We're not doing that,
State bringing charges against me. Who is it? How did I injure the state?
all right, this is your first appearance. I advise you of your rights. I advise you of your charges and possible.
Your Honor, I object to the proceeding, for I do not know the nature and cause of the
I'm
proceeding.
entering a not guilty plea. Missy, when is?
I object to you entering I object to you entering a plea on my behalf. I do not grant you that right.
Missy?
The court date,
You're supposed to act as a trustee.
Sir, you
No.
need to stop. You're being in contempt of court. You need to stop or I'll have the officer assist you in stopping. Missy?
Well, Your Honor, I would like to also bring to
September
according to
27th.
USC 12203.
Deputy Miles.
And also
did you,
Article 3, the judge must operate in good behavior. So therefore, if you're making a threat towards me, then
Deputy,
that's
if he's going to
urging
keep
me to
being
perform in your
contentious, I'm going to
court.
have you take him into custody on contempt.
Then that would be illegal search and seizures, Your
No,
Honor.
wouldn't you need to go back?
It will.
All right,
It's
Missy.
false
I
imprisonment.
want you to stop talking or you can go upstairs to the county jail. Now, do you want to go to jail tonight?
Your Honor, again, Title
Deputy
4,
Miles, could you
let's
come in and
see.
assist the defendant?
September 27th at 9 o'clock will be the court date.
September 27th, you said 9 o'clock?
Yes.
9 a.m. You must be back here, sir, in person at the courthouse, or you will be arrested for failure to come to court.
Your Honor.
Now, that deputy there is going to take you into custody if you cannot control yourself through the remainder of this hearing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just enforcing my right, Your Honor.
All right, so your first right is to have a hearing date, and that is September 27th, 9 a.m. The
Your
second
Honor, I
right,
also have a right to understand the nature
Sir.
of this.
There's no way this guy can take a hint. I wouldn't have thought twice about giving him a 30-day contempt sentence if I had been the judge. Judge Webster deserves a lot of credit for maintaining composure because, let's face it, most of us would have either silenced or handcuffed this guy by now. The problem is that this sovereign citizen is not technically incorrect when he requests to know the specifics of the allegations. According to the Sixth Amendment, that is an essential component of due process. But what's the issue? He is simply refusing to listen to the judge's repeated explanations. Rather, he behaves as though this is some sort of covered, nefarious trial that is meant to trap him. Right now, it's more about being so obstinate that even a straightforward explanation feels like an assault that is about knowing the law. Now the actual question. What is the true? Patience of this judge, let's investigate.
I have a right to understand the
All
nature
right.
of
If
cause.
you don't want to listen to me, you can go to jail.
Is that the order, Judge?
Do you want to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed?
No, I do not. I don't need to hire an attorney, Your Honor.
You want to represent yourself?
I don't need to hire an attorney. I would like for you as the judge, Your Honor, to explain to me the nature and cause of the.
All right, I'm not going to appoint an attorney if you don't want me to. If you want, you said you don't want to hire an attorney. If you want to apply for court appointed, the officers have forms there that you can fill out. If
I
you
just
don't
want to
fill them
understand the
out,
nature
I'm
and
going-
cause.
If you don't want to fill one out, I'm going to assume you don't want an attorney. And then if you come to court September 27th at 9 a.m., you're going to be representing yourself if you don't hire or apply for court appointed. And so you've got the third issue, does he have a bond? Looks like you do because you failed to appear February 27th at your first appearance. So bench warrant was issued, bond was set at $1,000 cash or professional surety. Looks like that was posted. Looks like you made a cash bond of $1,000. Does that sound right? You put up $1,000 cash back in July 12th?
I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of this allegation, Your Honor.
I will continue your bond unless you get yourself hauled into jail on contempt before you leave. I will continue your bond with the condition that you reappear here in person at September 27th at 9 a.m. So you've got your court date, you've got your bond, and we've talked about your lawyer. Now, you're wearing a U.S. Army uniform with the name Johnson on it. Are you in or have you been in the United States military?
Your Honor, I'm still trying to understand the nature and cause of the allegation, Your Honor.
All right. If you can leave the courthouse now without any further disruption, I will let you do so. But I'm going to have those officers escort you to make sure you do so. So, Ms. Gillette, anything further?
Your Honor, it is your oath to explain the nature and cause of the allegation against me. Are you failing to do that?
All right. You can either walk out the front door with the officers, or you can walk upstairs to the county jail with the officers.
Tell me in the comments if you believe this man will eventually keep his mouth shut and leave as the judge ordered, or if you think he will spend the night in jail. Because it might go either way at this rate. I don't know why he doesn't choose the obvious option, but he does have one here. Despite the judge's repeated cautions and pleading with him to cooperate, he is hooked to his little script as if it were a magic spell that will save his life. This guy was actually in the army, which is a fun fact. Government property indeed. How even does that operate? We'd all know such kind of crap doesn't fly in the military, so I'm not sure how he managed to survive by acting in this way. To be honest, this degree of delusion just doesn't make sense, and I'm beginning to wonder whether there's anything more serious going on here. Mental illness, drugs, whatever. Let's dive right back in.
The choice is yours. Either leave.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
Or leave disruptively.
I'm not being disruptive. I'm just trying to understand the nature and cause of the
All right,
charge.
officers, I'm gonna close.
What am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to understand the charge.
If he gives any more grief,
All I'm asking is to understand the charges. This is
I've
for
told
the
you the
record. You said it's for the
charges.
record, so I'm trying to understand what am I being
I'll do
charged?
the charges. Goodbye, sir.
I just want to understand the nature and cause of the charges, Your Honor. That's all I ask. It is your
I've
oath
gone
to
over
give
those
that.
with you. If you tell me what kind of questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them, but I've already told you.
Okay. Under what jurisdiction is these charges being brought to me under?
The state of Kansas has charged you with speeding 82 and a 65 and operating in a motor vehicle without liability insurance on January 4th, 2024 in Greenwood County, Kansas. You failed to appear for your first appearance and a bench warrant was issued and you were arrested and you made a bond of $1,000 cash or surety, posting a cash bond. Now you have to go to court. and you have to answer those charges. You can
Your Honor, I
have
don't
a
know.
trial if you like, and the burden will be on the state of Kansas to either prove or disprove. If they can't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, you're let go.
Well, I'm still trying to understand what jurisdiction am I being charged under, Your Honor? That's all I'm trying to understand.
You're being charged under the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas under its criminal law.
But according to the Constitution, there are only two
All right,
jurisdictions.
we'll have that on a later date. We'll be at recess, officers. Please escort him one way or the other, depending on his behavior.
But I'm still not understanding what you're charging me with.
Goodbye. We are adjourned.
But if she's the judge, I'm supposed to have clear and concise of what I'm being charged with.
The judge just said if you give us any problems with it.
I'm not giving y'all a problem. I'm trying to.
So you have put you in handcuffs and
Well, I'm waiting on this, Your Honor, to explain.
All right, Missy.
But that's it.
That's our last case on the docket, isn't it?
This is not good.
Yes. it is.
All right. All right. Ms. Gillette, I'll see you at 3:30 docket.
Your Honor, can I please go home? Your Honor, can I please go home? I'll leave.
All right. Well,
Can I go home?
I left it up to them and I left it up to you, and then they were to behave accordingly.
This is the most odd court case I've ever seen. This man was essentially pleading to be taken to jail. Perhaps he is homeless and was only looking for a place to stay. Who knows? His brain either couldn't or wouldn't absorb the judge's explanation of the allegations and jurisdiction in the most straightforward words available. It resembles a hybrid of conceit and illusion. Since there is no possibility that someone acting in this manner could have survived the army, I wouldn't even be surprised if this were a case of stolen valor. It simply doesn't make sense. The larger problem, however, is that all sovereign citizens significantly deplete judicial resources. While true cases that genuinely matter are delayed, judges, clerks, and everyone else in the system are forced to put up with their outbursts. And you know who foots the bill? Taxpayers, just so these folks can make up legal doctrines that don't exist at all. It's annoying, absurd, and to be honest, I feel sorry for anyone who must deal with them in court. They are living in a fantasy world devoid of reality. However, what are your thoughts? Was this man attempting to stall, or was he simply ignorant? Although I believe he was a complete moron, I will agree the judge handled it nicely by giving him opportunities before shutting him down. It was a complete waste of time, but at least the case was intriguing. Please share your ideas in the comments section, and remember to like and subscribe if you found this entertaining. The channel benefits greatly from it. Thank you everybody for watching, and be careful.